There's a way to get out of the mud. The mud I'm talking about is the victim mud. It's when we feel like we're spinning our wheels, not being able to get any traction. Psychologists call it an external locus of control. One way out of this is to pay attention to your language and to be more effective in your speaking. Generally, when you're in that victim mud, you're in the language of obligation. And it's not much fun here. The sky's dark, it's gloomy, and the words we use sound like this. I have to, and I must, and I should, and I ought to, need to, somebody should. This is all the language of obligation. And it has us feel like we've got not much power. We can get out of that just by paying attention to our language, and you notice that the sky brightened up. We go to the language of possibility. This is when we've just taken one step up the ladder and we are already in what's called an internal locus of control. We're in charge. This is the language of I might, I'll try, maybe, I'll give it my best shot. This, of course, is not as powerful as other language, but the power in it is it gets us out of the mud and gets us out of obligation. Because when you say I might, what's automatically known is I might not. The next rung up on the ladder is when you can move authentically up to what you want, your desire, your preference. This says I'd like to, it's interesting, it sounds good. This is when you're expressing the desire that you have. If you can authentically move up another level, it's to passion. It's not just a little desire, but it's what makes your heart sing, what you really enjoy, what you're excited about and interested in, what really lights you up and brings you excitement. That's the language of passion. There's another step up this ladder, and it's when you start to plan. You put resources behind it, and time behind it. You have specific actions that you figured out. What you're going to do to accomplish what you want. And that's even higher up this ladder of effective speaking. It's when you define the specific results and the timelines and even the places that you'll go to achieve this and the people that you'll use to assist you. Top rung of this ladder is when you promise. Now, promises are effective. They make things happen. I will do it. I promise. You can count on me. I assure you. I give you my word. There's a problem with promise, which is sometimes they get too heavy. You get too many of them, and that ladder will just bend over and get stuck in the mud. That's when I recommend you go back to the people you've made promises to, lay out the dilemma, ask to renegotiate, and all of a sudden, the top of that ladder gets lighter and it springs back to be able to get you out of the mud.